Hey, course support. So obviously I'm not there today or here today. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and do the little lesson as we do rotations. Okay. So you probably have a sub somewhere in the room, but they had the option to have me teach it. So here I am. So you should be on page 19 out of your course support packet thingy. And it says there that on albatross, this is an albatross. It's like a giant seagull, is what it reminds me of. Anyway, an albatross is a large bird that can fly 400 kilometers in 8 hours at a constant speed. In your little packet thingy, go ahead and underline constant speed. And think about what on earth does it imply when something says constant speed? Well, that's telling you it's a hint that it's going to be a proportional relationship, okay? So this little situation right here where it's flying 400 kilometers in 8 hours, that is going to be proportional. That ratio is never going to change. You know, it's always going to be equivalent to that ratio, okay? Because it's a proportional relationship. So it says using D for distance in kilometers and T for number of hours, an equation that represents this situation right here is D is equal to 50 times T. And before you're like, how the heck did they get this 50 if it says 408? Well, they did the thing where we find the unit rate. Okay, that's the unit rate. So when we go y divided by x, they went like this. So they were like 400 kilometers in 8 hours. And they're like, well, that's not the unit rate. So we wanted 1 in the denominator, remember? So then we divide by 8 because 8 divided by 8 equals 1. And then divide the numerator by 8, and 400 divided by 8, well, that's 50. So that unit rate, that bird, that crazy bird, this crazy bird is going 50 kilometers per hour, okay? And that's constant. It's not like slowing down, going fast, slowing down. It's just going constantly at 50 kilometers per hour. That's a fast bird. Now, here's the question. What are the two constants of proportionality for the relationship between the distance in kilometers and the number of hours? So what are the two constants of proportionality? What are the two unit rates? So for sure, we got one unit rate right here, the 50. I mean, remember that equation? That equation that is for proportional relationships? It's y equals k times x. Well, this problem's crazy. They like to use, instead of a y, they use d. Instead of an x, they use t. The d stood for distance in kilometers, and that t stood for hours, time in hours. Okay, so one of the constants of proportionality is 50. It'd be 50 kilometers per hour, if you want to be super exact, okay? But 50 is cool too. Now, if you're like, how the heck is there another constant proportionality? A table will help us with this, okay? So let me try to turn my computer so you can see this. Let's go ahead and do a table. You know how I'm like, it's crazy about tables? We're doing tables. A table. So right there, draw your table on your paper. And sub, I hope you are pausing this because I might be talking a little fast. Like pause this periodically so that they can like write stuff down and process stuff, okay? But anyway, we're going to put X right here, Y right here. X is going to represent the time in hours, and Y is going to represent the distance in kilometers. And we've got like a couple things we could totally put in this table already. We got the 400 kilometers in 8 hours. So it was 8 hours. And they're going 400 kilometers. Another thing that we could have put, right here, 50 kilometers per hour. So 1 hour, 50 kilometers. Just looking at this table, can you find that unit rate, that constant proportionality? Remember we found it up here? Can you see where that 50 comes into play? Yeah, right there. We're timesing by 50. We're timesing the first column by 50 to get the second column's value. Okay, so you see that's one of our unit rates. And if you're like, where's the other one? Okay, Hopkins, where's the other one? It's right here. So going this way, we're timesing by 50, right? Now going the other way, what are you multiplying by? Yeah, the reciprocal. What on earth is the reciprocal of 50? Well, put 50 in its fractional form. Now flip it. What's the reciprocal of 50? Yeah, it's 1/50th. So to go from here to here, we're multiplying those y values by 1/50th to get their corresponding x value. So the other unit rate I guess you could say, is 1/50th. 1 hour, wait, hold on. Yeah, 1 hour, 50 kilometers, okay? Now it says, what's the relationship between these two values? We'll look at them, 50 over 1 and 1/50th. What's that relationship? No, they're not dating. They're reciprocals. They're flippy flopped, okay? They're reciprocals. Is it with an O or an A? Reciprocals. I don't remember. Reciprocals. I think it's like that. I don't remember. Okay, write another equation that relates D and T in this context. Okay, so if you're like, what was the other equation? They gave it to us, remember, silly? Right up there. So the first equation that they totally gave to us, so nice of them, was, oh, this is awkward, was really awkward. D, where did it go? Where's the equation? Oh yeah, D equals 50 times T. Label, label, label. That's time in hours. D was distance in kilometers. Okay, so remember how it's like that's the unit rate? Well, do you remember how we found the other unit rate going the opposite way? Well, since we're going the opposite way, we have to flippy floppy the variables. Okay, so that's our first equation, and here's the second one. Flip flop those variables because we're going the opposite direction. So it'd be T equals, well, what's the unit rate going this way, folks? Yeah, 1/50th. And then they want, instead of X, they wanted what? D. So, folks, this is still time in hours. This is still distance in kilometers. Okay? Okay. Take a second. If there's extra time, review and process what the heck just happened here, because I know it probably went really, really fast. So maybe turn and talk in a group, do whatever the sub says, and figure this stuff out, okay? If you want to see it as I wrote it on your paper, this is what I wrote. Okay? And you can find this exact same video if you go to youtube.com, type in Charlene Hopkins, SHARLENE HOPKINS, and then what you're going to do when you get to my little YouTube channel, you're going to type in something. Let me remember that. I'll be right back. Surprise, I'm back. So if you're at my YouTube channel and you want to watch this video again because you're so bored or you're like, you thought it was so interesting, you would go to my YouTube channel, like I just said, and then you type in this. Lesson 5, page 19, okay? I think you spell out page though, PAGE 19. Okay. All right, I hope you're having a good day. I'll see you when I get back tomorrow. Bye.